What's up, everybody? It is Monday night. Welcome to the Waiver Wire Watch Party here on Fantasy and Frames. I'm your host, Stacy Perez. I am joined tonight by Rhett Manuel and Kyle Zeigler from For Them Frames. Guys, what's up? How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm great.
Oh, well.
Oh, you want to go first, Rhett? The senior?
You go first. Go. No, go ahead, bud.
No, I'm doing great, Stacy. Thanks for asking. I was telling them a little bit off the air that, I didn't get a chance to tell you, Rhett. Took the kids with my wife to the local park, and brought my laptop with me because I was going to pull it out there and enjoy the nice day that's a little cool here in Central Florida and do a little research for tonight's show. Well, anyway, we get back, right? We didn't last that long. The kids, they're 3 and 5. It's too cold for them. They were not having it at the park. So we come back, and the 3-year-old locked us out, Rhett.
Yes.
Luckily, my wife's car was still unlocked, so we could all bundle up in there and pull out my laptop in the car, sitting in the driveway. And long story short, mother-in-law came to save us for the day to let us in, as she had the spare key. So that was my day.
Shout out. First off, shout out mom-in-law for coming through in the clutch.
Yeah.
We love it. We stand our queen for making sure that KZ and the fam weren't out in the cold. That probably 55-degree Florida cold, whatever it was.
Very good, 53.
Yeah, 53.
Yeah, dude, I'm in Louisiana right now, so it's about 55, and it's actually get down freezing tonight. So, it'll be brief but fun. But no, I'm good. A little bit different role for me tonight because I'm used to, kind of calling the shots and playing point guard at For Them Frames. But, tonight we're just here to have a little fun, help Stacy out, talk some waiver wire, and talk a little Monday Night Football in the process.
Absolutely.
So we got a big matchup tonight. We got my Packers facing off at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Pack, go. I will not pretend to be unbiased. I absolutely want the Packers to win. How about you guys? Got any predictions for us for tonight? I'm totally off rails because that's not on the show sheet at all. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I really have no care of really who wins, but if I was to guess, man, they're in Lambeau.
Yeah.
So you got that going for you. So I'm going to go ahead and take the hometown Packers. They win this. I don't know if I'm just being friendly to Stacy here because she's the fan, but no, I think they win probably, 27-23, something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's probably the same for me. I think with a home game, home field advantage, Monday Night Football. I mean, in a close game like that, you tend to kind of just have to take the home team, in my opinion. But, I mean, it's just should be another good one. Just very curious as to what it's going to look like. Yeah, if it's cold in Green Bay, that's why they have Josh Jacobs in that Packers uniform for a few seasons now. So ride the horse till the wheels fall off is probably how that's going to go tonight.
Yeah, they might actually have. A buddy of mine lives in Milwaukee, and he was telling me that they may actually have some flurries in this game. So that should be exciting to see. Yeah,
it's a Jacobs game for sure.
Oh God, flurries! I couldn't even believe. I'm watching the Chicago game yesterday too, and I'm like, it's snowing. And then I'm like, it's November. How is it snowing? Because it's cold in other places, not in Florida. That's why.
Why. Yeah, Louisiana, same.
We don't know anything about that life, I don't know if people that live in those really cold climates, do they know that they don't have to live there? They don't have to live like that. That's they can leave.
Listen though, last year, actually earlier this year, January, there was actually an Arctic thing that pushed down Louisiana and gave us 8 to 10 inches of snow. It was kind of crazy. So my kids were excited and I'm just sitting here paranoid. I'm like, okay, is my roof made for this? Am I going to make an insurance claim? It's just all the old man dad stuff is what I was doing when my kids were just having a ball. So the roof was fine. It all worked out.
That's what, in the Panhandle, we got some snow too. We don't know anything about that life down here in Central Florida, but up in the Panhandle, I did see some, and not just a light dusting, it was legit snow, on the ground.
It was a good time overall. I can complain, but I won't. It's fine.
No. Well, guys, just like Tony Romo said yesterday, here at the Waiver Wire Watch Party, guys, we are DTF. We are going to bring you details. We are tough, and we are going to finish the show strong. Yeah, I just wanted to work in a reference to Romo's awkward DTF thing that he tried to do. Do you guys think that was did he lose a bet and he had to say that? Where did that come from?
Rhett, do you?
Honestly, my opinion is probably just like Tony Romo being this, I don't know, goofy white boy energy. He's like, he's probably been on TikTok a little bit too much. He's probably like, how can I work at DTF? And it's just like, he's sitting there and he's Chat GPT. What are some football things I can use with the DTF and just like all these things? And he's like, he workshops 5 or 6, runs them by their wife. No, that's not it. And finally, she's just like, yeah, Tony, that's the one. Do that. Yeah, that's great. And then it wasn't great. It's fine.
No, it was very awkward. Poor Tony.
That's what makes it funny, though, right?
We love it.
Now it's a meme. Thanks guys, everybody hanging out in the chat, watching online. Guys, if you have any waiver questions, throw those on in the comments. We will get to them as they come in. I see Aiden over here. Aiden, I'm really surprised you're out and about today after your Bills just got absolutely shellacked by the hapless Miami Dolphins. Hashtag just a producer Jim wanted me to make sure to remind you that happened yesterday. Hope you're okay. Hope you're doing all right. We can send a wellness check for you if needed. Just let us know in the comments.
Please do.
Yeah. Hopefully you're all right. We got Brandon hanging out with us. Brandon, what's up? Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. Yep. I don't know what is going on with them. Houston. We don't even have Colby here to talk about that win from Houston, but I know he enjoyed it. And Charlene, what's up, Charlene? Hanging out here with us. We miss you. Everybody, I think, will be back next week, guys. But yeah, so we're just gonna go through. We're gonna talk about some of the Sunday action from yesterday. We're gonna talk about some injuries. We got a lot of injury news that came in. Right around like I don't know what guys, like 5 or so, 4:30, 5 o'clock. They all just kind of like I opened up my phone and there was just like all these notifications. So we'll get into that. Some pretty big names that we need to talk about, and then we'll just go through talking about our different ads throughout, different positions and that kind of thing, and then we'll get you out of here by halftime. So, and if you guys are watching, you're watching Monday Night Football, throw that on in, throw them some comments about that, unless they are not Packer friendly, and then those are not welcome. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah. I'm the host. I get to say what I want. So no Eagle fans tonight. Thank you very much. You guys can see yourselves out.
This is a no-fly zone, huh?
It is a no-fly zone, absolutely. Unless you're a Cooper DeJean fan, because I do love me some Cooper DeJean so much. So.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No. Oh no.
No, Rhett. No Cooper. No
I don't know. Cooper DeJean, fine football player. A lot of Iowa frat bro energy on that one. I don't know. We'll let it ride. Like whatever works. Good for him. Happy he's got a following.
Absolutely.
I just love the song, the Billie Jean, like a remix. Have you guys heard? It's so old now. Like
yes, no.
Yeah.
But no, if we're really gonna go on songs that were like made for players from the Big Ten,
yeah,
my favorite of all time is the Trace McSorley song.
Trace McSorley has a song.
You didn't know Trace? It was huge on TikTok like 5 years ago. So yeah,
okay,
it was
TikTok was a thing 5 years ago.
Huh?
I didn't even know TikTok was a thing 5 years ago.
Yeah, it got hot during COVID. Come on now, so apparently I'm just a long time TikTok addict. It's fine. But yeah, Trace McSorley, way back in his Penn State days, they made a song about him whenever he was a Heisman contender to start the season. Yeah. Throw it on the dime. Like I ain't even trying. Just a kid from Briarwood. He's wearing number 9. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm going to go look this up now. That's like the first order of business after we're done tonight. We're going to go on TikTok and look up the Trace McSorley song. Oh man. Well, guys, let's talk about some studs and duds who had a really great week on Sunday, who did not exceed expectations. I mean, can we just talk about why I feel like every week I had to put Jonathan Taylor in here. There's 4 hat tricks this year. 4.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The man is a monolith. He's just at this point, like plug him and play him, lock it in. Yeah. The matchup doesn't matter anymore. It just goes to show that, like, first off, what a change of scenery did for Daniel Jones, which, by the way, that may have been a Brian Daboll problem after all. But yeah, that team is flying, and they're surprisingly good, and they're all getting guys like Sauce Gardner. I mean, yeah, Taylor is he's unreal, and he's healthy this year, so that's scary as well.
I have to admit, like, I don't think I have any Jonathan Taylor, honestly, and like much to like, and I'll just own up to this. I was not in on the Indy offense at all this year, so I stayed away.
Who was?
I think I took Daniel Jones as a joke in like one of my last rounds in like a best ball thing, like, and that team is like in like 5th place now, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Indiana Jones now.
Well, Rhett, I was high on Jonathan Taylor, if you remember when we were doing it back in July. Now, but to your question, who was on the whole Colts offense as a whole? I did say, to be clear, there's only one player from the Indianapolis Colts I would want, and it was Jonathan Taylor. So I never saw Daniel Jones doing what he's doing. So hats off to him. He is.
And now it ends up being like Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor. There's weeks where it could be Downs, Pittman, or Alec Pierce. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Alec Pierce a little bit later. We got some other people that we're gonna bring up, but Moggs brings up Parker effing Washington. I mean, I think like after he was kind of the waiver darling last week, but everybody was kind of like, well, hold your horses because they're playing Houston. It's probably not going to be that great of a game, but he's still doing all right. Comes with a touchdown, so you can't hate that.
Yeah, with Travis Hunter, on the shelf for a few more weeks, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, they'd also acquired Jacoby Myers, so it's kind of even more like pushing pause on Parker Washington. And, well, we can be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. He's over our 50% threshold, so no more Parker Washington this week. I think Moggs is over here in the chat. I think I must have accidentally sent him the show sheet because we've already got Tez Johnson, we got Theo Johnson, the 2 T Johnsons. We also got K-Dot in here, all 3 guys that are going to make news here a little bit later for us when we get to their respective positions. But Moggs, if you're in the show sheet, don't spoil it for everybody over there.
He's in our bag.
Oh man. JSN, first wide receiver to get to 1,000 yards. Like, who would have thought that?
That is a surprise. I mean, already too. I mean, geez, who knows what can he do another 1,000 from here on out? I mean, the way he's playing, wow.
Right? Yeah, I mean, and hopefully like Sam Darnold gets his act together because I could really use more than 6 points from you, sir. If you're listening, I'm just saying.
I think the problem last week, though, is they just jumped out ahead. I mean, they had 2 defensive touchdowns, if I remember correctly. Yep. They were up like 28-0. So, I mean, even for JSN to do what he did, because I have him in several leagues myself, was pretty good for being ahead 28-0 by the end of the first quarter, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was the same too, right? On the defense, they got those 2 touchdowns. The same guy, right?
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Rhett, you said no?
No, the thing with JSN is that I'm just looking over his player profiler page right now. He's third in the league in targets. He's first in target share. He's first in target rate. And a supposed slot guy has literally played only 61 slot snaps all year. He's 89th in slot snaps in the league this year, but he's tops in air yards, top in air yard share. He's third in deep targets. Like, there's just a lot where you just like the profile, like it's not fool's gold. Like, it's there on a consistent basis. It's more than just counting stats. It's the analytics. If I'm looking at the efficiency stuff right now, his first downs per route run, he's first. His yards per route run, he's first. His formation adjusted yards per route run, he's first. His yards per target, he's second. His yards per reception, he's 7th. His yards per team pass attempt is first. Like, oh my God. Like, he is probably the best. No, there's no problem. He is the best receiver in football right now.
And I know that I recently just looked too that he is the wide receiver 1 in fantasy too, ahead of Jamar Chase as well. So yeah, he is for real, like Rhett said.
What I need to know what category he's not first in. That might be like a shorter list, right?
Okay. Well, in motion rate, he's 131st in motion rate at 4.2%. So there's something for you. But no, the thing that this is what really sets it off for me. The Seahawks are last in the league at team pass plays per game at 28.6. sort of throwing it less than anybody. And JSN is being more effective than anybody. Like, it's unreal.
How high does he go in drafts next year?
If he ain't in the 1-1 talk, we're fucking something up.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Has to be. Does he go above Chase?
Right now, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then he would definitely be the one. I'm trying to think like who would you take him over next year? I mean, I can't think of really anybody. Maybe Chase. I can't think of really anybody else.
Chase would probably be the only one that, yeah. I mean, unless Bijan's still holding on to the number one. But even then, the last couple of weeks that we've seen Bijan,
who's hated by the Falcons, they don't want to get him a touchdown. Like,
and we thought it was an Arthur Smith problem all this time. You scoundrels.
Drew in the chat says Puka forever. That's your homer dude coming out, Drew. That's okay.
Also, it's the fact that I said something pro Seahawks. He probably didn't like it either, but I love you, Drew. It's okay.
Would you take JSN over Puka?
Oh, that's tough. Because now at this point it's a durability issue. Puka plays so hard. Oh, and we can't account for injuries. Like, we don't want to bake injuries into our formula, but I mean, those two guys are pretty close. I mean, I've got ownership on both of them this year. Anytime they're playing, they've been absolute machines. So
the good news is if you're drafting in a top 5 pick next year, you've got a lot of good options here at wide receiver if you wanted to go.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a big shift in. I mean, like the last couple of years, it's been kind of the same names, just like move them around just a little bit. But I think we'll have a pretty decent shift coming up this next year. We'll have some guys, I think, moving up into that in that first round. There we go. Oh, Josh Jacobs. For those of you watching Monday Night Football, the game has started here. We got my Packers. Let's see, second down, and I don't know. Anyway, you guys are watching it too, so you guys know what's going on. Hopefully, we can get a touchdown here on these nasty Eagles. I heard this stat today. Totally shifting gears, and it blew my mind. And this was from Danny Kelly over at the Ringer fantasy show. Did you guys know that Davis Mills in his career is 3-1 against Trevor Lawrence?
No, I did not know that.
So tell you what, it doesn't shock me considering I think Trevor Lawrence sucks, but it's fine.
I was just Davis Mills though. Like, I think they said it was like his 6th career win. Came on Sunday with the Texans beating the Jags.
Half of them are against Trevor Lawrence.
Against Trevor Lawrence.
That's just funny. That's hilarious to me, actually.
And why do I feel like having Nico Collins? I kind of like Davis Mills better with Nico.
Yeah. I
didn't think I'd ever say that, but I think right now I do.
Yeah, I mean, like he's been back there. I mean, Nico's he's been grinding all year. I mean, with the exception of when he's been a little banged up. Anne's in the chat. What's up, Anne? And Mills, he's a little scrambler. He's going to make our list a little bit later if there's not any more news about CJ Stroud and his concussion, if he remains in concussion protocol. But we'll get to that when we get to those quarterbacks. I hate giving New England, like their props over here, but like they haven't lost since week 3, and they get the Jets, the Bengals, and the Giants over the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
The Jets got, a brand new coach. I mean, could they literally just win the next 3 games? Could they just like rip those off?
Absolutely. Jets.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead, Rhett.
I know we're going to talk Travion in a little bit, but I mean, looking at this Bengals run defense in 2 weeks' time, I mean, that's not a great matchup for the Bengals. The Giants, they just fired their coach. Maybe you get a new coach bump and maybe it wears off in 3 weeks, but that's not an ideal matchup. And the Jets are still the Jets, and Garrett Wilson is scheduled to miss the next month of time. So looks like it's all coming up Millhouse for the Patriots right now.
I saw the stat too. I think this was from Underdog have posted this. The only running backs that have more than 50 yards rushing against the Pats right now is Sean Tucker. They have played Bijan, Quinshon Judkins, James Cook, Ashton Genty, Rico Dowdle, Devon Achane. None of those guys have been able to get more than 50 yards on the Pats, but sweet little Sean Tucker finally able to do it.
That is
Drew Scott Truth or Sean Tucker, by the way. Don't you forget.
That's right. I love me some Sean Tucker, and I think he's running with a purpose after all that not being drafted and everything, slipping a little bit there in the draft with that heart issue. But we're big Sean Tucker fans in this house over here. Last but not least, unless you guys, I'm sure have some other ones too, but I wanted to shout out my favorite Aaron Jones and Rico Dowdle for coming back this week with their 0 pump celebration, so that they wouldn't get in trouble after Rico does the 2 pump celebration and gets his hand slapped a little bit there from the league. Thought that
I
was
did
fun.
see that, and they both ironically did it, in the same week. Not even, just that was wild to me. And did you say did Rico Dowdle do it and actually get penalized for it? Did he get fined before?
Yeah.
And okay, that's what I thought. I didn't see that one, but I did see the one where he faked it, and I was like, there's got to be something to that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
They had oh, is it oh my gosh, why can't I think of who are the guys that do Keegan and Peele? There we go. They had one of them come on with the Panthers in one of their team meetings and talk to them and go over the what can we do to not get in trouble again next year or next week. So that was pretty funny. I think that's floating around the internet. I'm sure you guys can go check that out.
Well, apparently a good way for them to not get in trouble is just not score on the Saints defense, which is absolutely terrible, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh man. We got a player down for the Eagles. I think that's Quinyon Mitchell.
That's a big loss if it is, man.
Ooh, it looks like he hit his head on the ground. Yikes.
So we're not doctors, but that's a possible concussion there. And
yeah,
that's a big loss.
Actually, technically I do have a doctorate. It's just not in medicine.
True, my bad.
No, he's running off the field. He looks like it. I'm sure he's fine. Do you guys have any other studs that we miss? I think we do have to talk about Travion, don't we?
Yeah, we do have to talk about Travion.
But I did have Trey McBride written down. I don't know if you saw that, Stacy. He was a stud this week, and I have lots of Trey McBride. And he's really starting to connect with Brissett, isn't he, since filling in as a starter? Oh, man. And now he's got the starting job. Woo. Weeks 1 through 5, I looked at this. Kyler Murray, his first read share percentage, it was still ridiculous, Trey McBride and Kyler Murray. It was 32.5%. But since Brissett took over, it actually rose up a little bit more to 36.8%, which is 7th highest among all players, not just tight ends, guys. 7th highest among all players with Brissett. So if you've got Trey McBride and you've got Jacoby Brissett, that is a nice little duo there. I'm pretty excited about as a Trey McBride guy. And I know that Rhett in the off and before the drafts, we were talking about it. You were a big Trey McBride guy too, weren't you?
Dude, I loved McBride. I just thought that coming off of last season, with the target share he had, even if we had a Marvin Harrison breakout, which we haven't, but it was just hard to look past the fact that he was so heavily targeted that you just weren't gonna you couldn't ignore the fact that he was probably due just for another just really, really good season. So hats off to him. He got it done. He's getting it done.
I have loved Trey McBride this year, and since week 6, he's had 5 touchdowns, 32 receptions, and is leading tight ends in points per game with 23.7 in full point PPR formats. So love it.
So look, you asked about another winner, and I'm just going to go ahead because in my Plays and Fades article last week, I had Chris Olave tagged as a loser, as a fade. And boy, could I not have been more wrong at the end of the day, because what happened was all of a sudden Tyler Shough had a week of game planning, had a week to get in the system, and then the Saints decided, strangely enough, shocker, that Spencer Rattler, we just learned, I put this on social media for myself yesterday. I'm not sure that we know Tyler Shough is the guy, but we know that Spencer Rattler isn't and never was the guy after Tyler Shough's performance yesterday, because he comes out, Spencer Rattler has been hovering around 5 to 6 yards per attempt all year. And then Tyler Shough comes out in 27 attempts, throws for 280, has 10.1 yards per attempt, and throws a pair of touchdowns. and makes Chris Olave look like Chris Olave once again. So going forward, I have to reassess and take that loss on Chris Olave because I wasn't expecting. I know it was only 17 points. Don't get me wrong, but still, it's the optics of the fact that the offense is just kind of operating and moving in a different manner that makes Chris Olave a winner for this week and probably a buy going forward for the rest of the season for me.
No, and on our Fourth and Frames channel every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, we talked about Spencer Rattler before, and I always tried to defend him, and Rhett would always look at me sideways, like it's just a matter of time, Kyle, before Tyler Shuck takes over, probably after the bye. But no, yeah, Rhett nailed it, and he came back sooner than Rhett actually thought, and looks good early on. I mean, you got to give it to him. Kid looks way better than he did in preseason.
There's going to be some tape come out on the guy, and it's going to slow down a little bit. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, here's where we are as just a Saints fan in general. I went from we absolutely no doubt have to take one of these quarterbacks in the top 5 of the draft next year to within a span of a week kind of being like, well, let's see how this goes and maybe. So, like, it's funny what a week of solid quarterback play can do for your ego and your mindset because this can still all go terribly wrong. But for now, all's well that ends well.
You guys do have Atlanta next week, which might be a little bit tougher than the Panthers, but still should be a good matchup though. Division matchups are always really fun.
Those two teams always play each other tough. It's division. Like they say, cliche alert. I know you do some player profiler stuff, so cliche alert, throw the records out the window. Just like, yeah.
You and Keith Fleming are gonna have to get together and put something on that game.
Oh, Keith, my guy. I haven't talked to him in so long. I hope you're well if you're watching this, bud.
Yeah, I miss Keith. It's been way too long since we've hung out with Keith. Any duds? I mean, I feel like there's a few underperforming people out there. I've got an entire group of folks. What do you guys have for me?
I wrote down Bijan Robinson, actually. I mean, I know we aren't panicking yet because he's still finished, as an RB1 3 out of the last 5 weeks. So he's still that guy, but only 1 touchdown in that span. But he's running back 22 this week as of right now and running back 40 against Miami back in week 8, which that should have been a smash play. Like in that game, like Tyler Algier is just vulturing touchdowns away from him. And I'm not panicking yet with Bijan as a Bijan manager, but he's definitely on red alert right now.
I also might be panicking on Justin Jefferson, as crazy as that may sound. I've always seen him as quarterback proof, but guys, I came in and just like I thought this McCarthy thing was going to work out. I know it's early, but right now he's not a good fantasy quarterback. So yeah, it is what it is. Can I give ourselves a bonus winner real quick, even if he wasn't really a true winner?
Absolutely.
Can we finally just acknowledge the elephant in the room of Treylon Burks after 4 years in the NFL managing something? Like, listen, that's a Jorge Edwards shout out. Treylon Burks is still terrible, but you know what? For Treylon Burks to do anything, he's a winner in my book this week. Treylon, if you're watching, I'm proud of you, bud. Keep grinding the axe.
He's probably watching from the hospital. I think he's getting surgery on his finger, is what I saw.
Oh no!
I was like,
it was a good run.
Dude, I was like, what else can happen to this poor guy? That popped up on there on the alerts and everything this afternoon, and I was like, come on, like how much more? Jeez.
I'm just
rest in peace, Treylon Burks. Week 10 to week 10.
It said it wasn't serious and that he was coming back, but it did mention that he was having surgery on a finger. I don't know any more details on that, so maybe somebody in the chat has a little more info. But isn't that wild? Just can't catch a break, man. Man, my duds were the entire offense in Las Vegas. Maybe not Ashton Genty; he did get in the end zone, but like Bowers with I'm going to need more than 4 points from you. I'm going to need more like last week's performance rather than this week's performance, please. I'm going to need that to happen again. I don't know what's going on with Gino. I really don't. Like the Geno thing, it's really bad. Like I still am kind of shocked like that we haven't even moved on and like tried more Kenny Pickett, which even just sounds disgusting saying it out loud. I like at some point they have to make a switch, right? Some point something's got to happen. Like this just seems like there's something really wrong with Geno, and I don't really know what it is because I mean it's making Seattle look like geniuses now, but I mean, this is terrible. Like this is way worse than what everybody thought was going to happen, right?
Yeah, and who's their backup? Is it the Aiden O'Connell? Is it still Aiden O'Connell?
They still have Aiden. I'm sure they still have Aiden, but Kenny Pickett, I think, is number 2.
Kenny. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind actually maybe seeing what Kenny Pickett has done since leaving Pittsburgh. You know.
Are we doing this?
No.
I know I just went to Treylon Burks land, but are we doing this right now?
No, we're not. We're not.
Thanks.
You're gonna reel it real quick.
I don't see Aiden O'Connell on the depth chart here. I'm looking. Let me go look on the RLAD site because that one's pretty.
He's probably gone now. That's probably why they brought in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I'm curious. Now I want to know where he's at. I'll find that eventually. Anybody else in the chat knows, let us know. But yeah, I'm like disgusted with Vegas. Like like all those Brock Bauer teams, I had a team where I took Ashton Genty in the first round. I had like the 11th pick, I think. And then we wrapped it around and we're like, let's go Travion Henderson. We don't have any. This is the only spot we're going to be able to get him, being so far back. Took both of those guys.
Oh.
Woof, right? That's brutal. Don't ask me how that team's doing because it's not very well. But, this is just, that's my dad for this week. I just can't say anything else. Like, they're terrible.
Brock Bauer, Scott Fishbowl, 101. Hi, it's Rhett.
Right? I have him in the fishbowl. I was the 2nd overall pick and I took Bowers.
That was, yeah. Rhett, you have Brock Bowers? I know Jorge.
Yes. Yeah, I took him 101 in my league in Houston. Come on, man. It was a good time.
It's great for last week. Last week was really nice when we had Brock Bowers. Other than that, we don't need
that fishbowl.
You guys would have been fine if he would just stay healthy, but I think getting derailed there, it just kind of hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That fishbowl draft will always have the time I snipe tip major for Pat Mahomes in round 6. So that'll be the lasting memory of that for this year.
I mean, my humble brag, my first pick in the Scott Fishbowl was Jonathan Taylor. So,
oh, what a guy! What a guy!
Who ironically just beat Brock Bowers' single game record in Scott Fishbowl. Had 77 points. Well,
wow!
Jonathan Taylor put up 82.
82.
Wow!
So back-to-back big weeks. Yeah.
Moggs, again, get out of the show sheet. We will talk about Naylor. Don't worry. Wow. We're gonna get to him. You're hitting all the guys.
He's just locked in tonight. Moggs has been he's with us every week on Fourth and Frames. He's here on the waiver wire watch party. Like it's just he's locked in, man. He knows ball now.
Oh man. Well, guys, like we do have some big injury news that we talked about today. Garrett Wilson is going to be missing several weeks. We got Jackson Dart out with that concussion. We don't know, what that's going to look like, if he's going to miss a week or not. A couple guys that we're going to need to check in on. Terrell Jennings, dude. If you're in a league where you're picking up Terrell Jennings, I'm sorry. Like things have gone quite astray. Or maybe you're in a really deep league. The league I picked him up in was a 14-teamer. Right. And then we got J.K. Dobbins. Have you guys heard any new updates about Dobbins?
I tried to look it up. I couldn't see anything. Rhett, did you?
No, I didn't see anything.
Nothing yet.
Charlene, it is not his 4th concussion. It's the 4th time he's been evaluated for a concussion. At least that's what I heard. So I think 4th time that he's been evaluated for a concussion. I don't think it's necessarily a 4th concussion.
And first time without Brian Daboll checking in on him.
Yeah, right. Oh man, that's a rough situation. Probably that's what cost Daboll his job today.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, so quick little check-in. Still 0-0 for the Packer game. We got 2 minutes left in the first. I'm just gonna say the Packer game because that's what it is. It's just the Packer game. We don't need to talk about that other team. Yeah, Charlene's exactly right. Yeah, that's we're just delivering the news here. I don't know what's real or not. Dave will well, maybe.
That's possible.
Lots of things are possible. Lots of things are possible. Lots of things. Lots
I
of
just think it's a conspiracy to hold back my man Russell Wilson from his renaissance, but it's fine.
stop. No.
Listen,
Russell Wilson.
there
No.
are a lot of people that I'm just going to relentlessly stand by, no matter how terrible they are. Russell Wilson and all of his cringeworthy things that he's done over the years. The man just cracks me up. So anytime I have a chance to drop a Russell Wilson reference, you can bet your butt I will.
I'm gonna need to get up and do lunges back and forth during the show, just like he was doing on the plane that one time, or at least that's what he said he was doing. Do you guys remember that?
I think I do. Yeah.
Yeah, on the flight. Still doing his rehab. Oh man. Well, I mean, guys, we've been here for 36 minutes. I guess we should probably talk about some waivers, since this is the waiver wire watch party.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Who knows? You know what? We'll do whatever we want here. I guess we could talk about some quarterbacks, get you guys some QB news here. I'm gonna bring up our little graphics so we can get those on the screen. That's not right. Hang on.
That is not JJ McCarthy, but that is Jacoby Brissett, who, by the way, Stacy, you have it set up here where he's rostered in 60% of leagues. He's a priority guy this week. He's had 20+ weeks each week he started. And since week 6, he's been a QB9 in fantasy points per game at 21.4. Take it off, Stacy. Go from there. Go
on. Yeah, so that's so funny. Jim is gonna be so upset when he sees this and realizes that
I think Jacoby Brissett is the surprise by that's not his name if you look at his eyes right there right now.
I know Jim really goes the extra mile to get really great pictures of our players here.
No, that's incredible.
It is. It's so good. And it's so up close. Like, so I'm sure this one of JJ McCarthy or Jacoby Brissett cosplaying as JJ McCarthy won't be the last one that we see this week or tonight, really. Yeah. But so what I wrote down a few names of players that we got Brissett here. Like you said, that average, that 21.4 points per game. Do you know who that's better than right now? Bo Nix, Jared Goff, and Dak Prescott. Whoa. Probably not surprised about Bo Nix. I was surprised about Jared Goff and Dak Prescott, though, actually. So a little bit surprised about that. They do have 3 games coming up against the Niners, the Jags, and the Bucs. All 3 teams bottom 20 in fantasy points given up to the opposing team's quarterback per game. And honestly, I mean, who cares if they're playing a good team and they're behind? Because you want them to keep throwing it. So it doesn't really matter. And I mean, honestly, do we think Kyler comes back this year?
No, not the way it looks.
Yeah.
I think they might look to trade him in the offseason, actually.
Right.
I think I saw somewhere where the Oakland A's still have Kyler Murray's MLB draft rights. So
I wouldn't go that far yet.
Are they going to change their name when they move to Vegas?
I'm not a baseball guy, so I don't know.
I don't know. Athletics is pretty just straightforward. Like, you can do anything with it. So really I don't see the need to change it.
No, I'm curious. We need to get where's Nate Markham? And Colby does baseball too. We'll get their thoughts on that at some point. I like Charlene's comment. It looks like he got some sun. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, Charlene. And then Mog's over here at Jacoby McCarthy. Yeah, that's so funny. I just want to leave that up now the rest of the show. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, and we talked about this with McBride, right? Like, everybody's doing so much better with Brissett back there. I mean, we've got Marvin, he's averaging 18.4 fantasy points over the last 2 games. Like, you have to love that. Like, after he's just been, never seeming to be able to get on the same page with Kyler. So I'm team Brissett, until otherwise, until I don't know, until it goes downhill or something. But
and feels like there's one of these guys every year in fantasy where it's just like all of a sudden somebody comes out of nowhere. And Jacoby Brissett is not that guy because he's been an off and on starting at least for years. This isn't a Josh Dobbs situation, but it is a good story. It is fun. I'm a Brissett guy. I've always enjoyed his game. Always thought he's been a guy who's been super solid. Not the best, not the worst. Like he could be Spencer Rattler right now. So
yeah.
But he is having the best year that he's like had. I mean,
right.
Yeah, four QB1 finishes in fantasy. That's pretty good for Jacoby Brissett, man. That's
really good for anybody, by the way, in a season.
Yeah, no, it's really cool to see, though. Really cool to see. I almost said JJ McCarthy.
I see, Moggs, you finally hit on one that I did not include in the show sheet. I'll tell you why later. Kyle Williams.
Yeah, true.
We'll get to wide receivers shortly. All right, our next up, we got Marcus Mariota. That is, in fact, Marcus Mariota. I think he's rest of the season. So I really like him here. We're not pandering to Jorge. I don't think there's really a world that exists where Jane Daniels comes back this year, even though they're saying that injury is not as bad as they initially thought.
They had no reason.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things would have to happen to make that even a possibility. That's why I kind of like, Mariota here, 18 fantasy points in that loss to Detroit. They do face Miami coming up this week. They're allowing the 8th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. 25 actual like real points per game and over 200 passing yards. What do you guys think about Mariota? I'll let you guys paper scissors.
Nobody wants to go first.
Sorry.
All right, I'll go first, Red. I'll go first. I think he's okay. But I think he's all right, I guess. I'm going to try to be nice here. You are right, though, Stacy. It is a very good matchup next week against Miami, so you do have that going for him. I would just want to maybe stream him that 1 week as a desperate play.
Oh,
yeah. There's other options I think that are better probably on the waiver wire. I was going to say Geno Smith, but not against Denver. Yeah. So, yeah, he's okay. He's a fine stream for next week against Miami.
Yeah, I wouldn't prioritize him, but I mean, if you need to stream somebody and you're in a deeper league, Mariota will fit the bill, sure.
Yeah. And really he's on here because he's got that job lockdown rest of season. It's not like a guy that's only going to be there 1 week. Like I've got Davis Mills on here, right? Odds are CJ Stroud is coming back, this week. Like he's probably going to clear protocol. He's probably going to be fine. Davis Mills probably isn't going to be playing next week unless something, happens that sets CJ Stroud back, right? So just one of those, that's kind of like he's got that job locked down. At least that he's going to be out there and playing, and you're not going to go spend your fab money on somebody who's not going to be there for you next week. But yeah, Rhett, I'm giving this one to you. You get to talk about him if this is your guy right here. He looks like he's throwing a temper tantrum in this photo. Russell Wilson.
First off, how dare you? Do not besmirch our king. Do not besmirch our cringeworthy, wonderful king. But look, if Jackson Dart is down and he's out this week, I mean, if we're being honest, I would kind of prefer Marcus Mariota to Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson has none of the rushing upside that Jackson Dart has, which is kind of what has made Jackson Dart special in fantasy football this season. But I'll tell you what, if we're going strictly off soundbite worthiness, Russell Wilson is forever my QB1 in fantasy football. Whether you want to talk about being unlimited or if you want to ride with Broncos country or if you want to eat a danger witch, he's got them all. Like, what a treat of a human.
So you give, because I'm sure you've heard like the speculation and like Richard Sherman saying he's like playing his way out of the Hall of Fame. Do you agree with that or absolutely not? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Dude, that what was it? Was it like an 8-year run that he had prior to the wheels falling off? I mean, that's about as good as an 8-year run as anybody. But like in Hall of Fame terms, like you think of a Hall of Fame quarterback, the first dudes that come to your mind are dudes that have like really really long windows of success and longevity. Like
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning, Hall of Famer. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Hall of Famers. And those guys didn't win rings. But what happened was they had such a long period of just being seen as an elite quarterback. Even in their heyday, toward the end of their careers, they never had a moment where people were like, I don't think Dan Marino's elite anymore. John Elway won a Super Bowl super late in his career. But even if he hadn't ever won a Super Bowl, he would still be a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, I don't know. Russell Wilson might just be a Hall of Very Good right now.
That's fair.
We did talk about Davis Mills a minute ago. We don't need to talk about it again. I just wanted to see the picture that Jim picked for him.
Okay.
All right. It's I was hoping for a little more neck action on that. But that's all right. That'll do. That will do. Guys, do you want to give me your priority out of these four real quick? Like who's first off if you want to rank them? I'll tell you mine. I'm going Brissett, Mariota, Wilson, Mills. That's my I think. Even though Davis Mills QB1 in fantasy this week.
I would say agree on the first two. I would flip the last two because if CJ Stroud happens to play, you can probably just drop Davis Mills and just pick up Russell Wilson anyway. So I'd flip him in that way.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with Rhett.
Cosign. All right. Let's talk some running backs. We've talked about Bijan. Now we're going to talk about Tyler Algier. Rostered in only 36% of leagues. I was shocked when I saw this today. I was looking him up for a different stat, and I happened to notice that it was only 30 because it never would have crossed my mind that he would be even available for the waiver article. So I thought that was crazy. Are you guys picking him up if you have Bijan? Are you picking him up to keep him from the Bijan owner in your league? What are we doing? I mean, he's got 6 touchdowns on the season. Let's see, 5 of them have been in the red zone. Bijan only has 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown in the red zone there. So I think it's pretty obvious who they like to go to once they get in close. He's kind of made a little bit of a career out of vulturing our guy Bijan this year.
Yeah. All right. So
go ahead, Red. Go ahead.
My take is this. I'm sorry. We always talk over each other, even though we do a show together. My bad. But here's what I'm wondering. Tyler Algier is one of the more talented handcuffs in football. Tyler Algier is a former 1,000-yard rusher. The only reason Tyler Algier is rostered in 27.8% of leagues per PFF is because there's this Bijan Robinson deityism that goes on. Listen, when Rico Dotto popped off, we weren't still saying, "Oh my God, what about Chuba Hubbard?" Well, Chuba Hubbard, he had 1,000 yards. He's being no, like we rightfully celebrate Bijan Robinson, great player, but at the expense of Tyler Algier because of the perceived greatness of Bijan Robinson, which he is great. We undervalue Tyler Algier, who should be rostered probably in 100% of leagues by this point in a 12-team format. And probably be considered a weekly flex play. Mm-hmm. That's where we are, and it's not happening.
Yeah, no. I have Bijan Robinson, and I was going to say, as a Bijan manager, I drafted Tyler Algier every chance I got. I moved him up on my board if I had Bijan because I know what he's capable of. Rhett pointed that out, and there was a point this year where I got banged up at the running back position in a game, and I had to play them both. And actually, Tyler Algier outperformed Bijan that week. Who would have thunk it, right? So, yeah, Tyler Algier is a must-add. If he's available in your league, which sounds like he is 36% rostered, he is a star in the making. If Bijan, knock on wood, were ever to get hurt, Tyler Algier is an RB1
Yeah. And he's a free agent this year, so he may not even be on the Falcons next year. So that's going to be really interesting if he does make a move, seeing where he goes and then how we kind of rank him at that point. So, our next one from the Cardinals, not Bam Knight, Amari DiMercato. In my mind, I say it like the Mario Brothers, that it's a me, Mario, like that's how I want to say his name. Yeah, so I think, 17% rostered, snap percentage going up over the last couple weeks, 64 yards on Sunday, plus 40 yards to the air, 104 yards from scrimmage. We're not really sure what's going on with Trey Benson. When is he going to be back? I mean, I think you could do a lot worse, than a flex of Amari DiMercato at this point. What are you guys in on him? I'm going to let you guys do rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to go first.
You want to do that real quick?
No, you go first.
Oh, you're such a nice guy.
Yeah, go.
All right. No, I totally love it, Stacy. Even when Trey Benson does come back, or if he comes back, because I'm seeing that that could be delayed a little bit. He may not come back as quick as we thought off of IR. But even if he does, I think DiMercato has definitely earned the receiving back role in that offense. I mean, he has put together some great runs there as a receiving back. So even when they get Trey Benson back, you best believe he's going to be the receiving back, third down back at the very least. So, yeah, that's a good guy to pick up.
Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, we're just sitting there, and you got a guy who can do both sides of the give you some rushing upside, give you a little bit of pass game upside. I've long believed, just by simple numbers, a good running back averages 5 yards per carry. An elite running back averages 5 yards per carry. A decent receiving back averages 7 yards per reception. So, just by that metric alone, if you put them in a half PPR format and a guy catches 5 balls for 36 yards, you're getting those 3.6 fantasy points plus the 5 receptions at 2.5. That's worth 6.1 fantasy points versus if you had a guy who had 5 carries for 32 yards, he's at 3.2 fantasy points in that format. So, I mean, receiving backs will always have my attention because they simply offer more value, especially with how many people play those half PPR, full PPR formats these days.
Mm-hmm. And there you go. I just looked it up real quick. As you were talking, Rhett, 6.5 yards receiving he averages. So he's a good receiving running back.
Here you go. All right. We got another one in here. This guys, the running backs this week are kind of gross. We got Devin Singletary rostered in 49% of leagues, which I'm surprised, honestly, that it's this high that he's rostered. And guys, these numbers are coming from Sleeper. I tend to like the Sleeper numbers a little bit better than I do with like a Yahoo or an ESPN. Like I found those to not be really as reflective as I think what's kind of going on in the league. So that's where I'm pulling my numbers from, just so everybody kind of knows. But you know what, this week against the Bears, 53 yards in the air. Over the last 3 weeks, he's been 6 for 6 on his receptions. Tracy, just for comparison's sake, 14 total touches last week, 2 Singletaries, 8. I mean, the news about Dayball breaks this morning, I doubt that really anything changes given that the OC is, I think, the one who's taking over the interim head coach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so probably nothing really changes with this offense. I mean, they are getting Green Bay next week, so you really can't be all that excited facing that rush defense who right now has still kind of kept the Eagles from scoring. It's still 0-0. We're got 12 minutes into the second. I think this is more of a desperation play, really. But I mean, if you're in deep trouble at running back, I mean, he's out there. He's the guy that's on the field, especially with Scattaboo being out. So how are you guys feeling about Devin Singletary, Rhett? What do you think?
How do I feel about Devin Singletary? Is a rather loaded question. I'm very Devin Singletary apathetic. I'm Devin Singletary agnostic, if you will. I understand that there's value there. I just may not necessarily believe in the value, if that makes sense. Like Tyrone Tracy is more explosive. He doesn't hold on to the ball as well. So there's the best ability is availability and actually being able to hold on to the football, sure. But if you have to tell me that which of these guys is more likely to explode and have a big week, if you have two guys who are kind of just meh, I kind of want the guy with more upside. So I think Tracy probably has that job going forward with Devin Singletary being the spell guy. Probably snaking some goal line touchdowns on a week-to-week basis, which, I mean, hey, that does offer some value to your team. So anytime you get in the end zone of fantasy football, if he gets 35 yards rushing, but he gets a touchdown, then all of a sudden he's a decent flex play. So, yeah, sure.
Welcome to week 11. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That pretty much is like all of these guys. Kyle, any thoughts on Dingle? Wow,
Dingle Singletary.
Wow, sorry, Devin Singletary. I'm sure you're watching and are very offended by that.
No, what you said though is true, Stacy. He will be on the field. He will get the touches, or some of the touches, I should say. But my waiver out of the week, I would prefer to go to Blake Corum, who's only 11% rostered on Yahoo, 8.5% owned on ESPN. He's gotten 13 carries in each of the last 2 weeks. He's seen a 35.6% rushing attempt share. He's averaging 4.38 yards per carry. He's seen a 25% of touches inside the 5-yard line. So if you're looking for a running back, I mean, Blake Corum is more intriguing to me, in my opinion. I mean, he's gathered 36 yards and explosive carries alone, and he's not really popping off the screen when you go to pick him up because he hasn't scored a touchdown. But his usage is there, so I'm very intrigued by Blake Corum definitely over Devin Singletary, in my opinion.
God, he's such a McVay guy, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, much better offense, too, you know, when you're talking about the Rams versus the Giants, for sure.
And if Drew is still watching, he should be chatting soon about, thumbs up.
I'm gonna blow the chat up with Blake Corum love over here. Last but not least, guys, and this is really a injury, you know, check in and see what's going on with Ramondre, with Terrell Jennings. I've got Dearness Johnson here for you. Look, we're not really sure, you know, Jennings leaves the game with an injury. Even then, you know, Dearness Johnson really didn't do too much. I think he had like 1 target. That was it. This game, you know, if Ramondre's back, this is kind of irrelevant news for you. But, you know, if something happens and Jennings is out, Ramondre's still out, you know, it's really just kind of a next man up kind of deal here with Dearness Johnson if you're in a super, super desperation, you know, situation here. Also 2 guys, actually, I guess really 3 that I kind of neglected to throw on here as kind of deep league stashes. And I mean, I don't really know that I want any part of this Washington backfield, but like, what are you guys thinking about the whole Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, you know, JCM kind of situation here? Because they all kind of suck, to be honest. I'm sorry, Jorge.
Yeah, Jags. Like, and I don't mean Jacksonville. Like, just
I would
dudes.
prefer the guys on Jacksonville too. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just their bodies. Somebody has to play the position. But it's a hot hand situation on a weekly basis. I mean, Bills had a week. Chris Rodriguez hasn't really had a week. Jeremy McNichols kind of had a week. So I mean, it's like it's kind of a mess. It's a 3-headed monster, and none of the heads are very don't have many teeth. So I mean, sure.
If you combined all 3 of them, you might get a low end flex option out of the total, maybe.
And yeah, Stacy, this topic really upsets me because I was a big Bill Krosky married fan. I mean, I was eating it up. I thought this dude was legit, and it pains me to see what we saw, you know, in preseason to this.
Yeah,
like what happened? Oh man.
I wish I knew, because I mean, like, I took him 8th overall in a league, a really high stakes league, and at the time I was like, oh, I got him in the
8th round, right? You don't mean 8th overall.
Or not 8th overall. That's what I meant. 8th round.
So
I just wanted to correct.
Yeah, that would be a terrible offense if I had taken him 8th overall and be like, get off the show. What are you doing? I mean, that's even.
Here's the question on Bill, because I didn't watch much preseason. What unit was he running with in preseason? Bill?
I think he was running with the ones at one point, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like in action, in games, was he running with ones? Because if he's running wild against twos and threes and going Hulkamania against twos and threes, then like
yes,
yeah, like
but still, Rhett, like in the preseason, yeah, if you're going up against twos and threes, but you're popping off explosive runs like that
I mean,
consistently.
He looked great, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my
Mm.
take, Rhett. That yes, he was going against twos and threes, but the consistent pops had me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it.
There's
this guy.
There's one guy that sticks in my mind that's really haven't been a preseason darling that really ended up working out for quite a few years. And this is maybe my ball knowledge coming out right now. But Victor Cruz is probably the ultimate preseason darling for me. Like a guy who just came out of nowhere, kind of popped on screen in the preseason, and you're like, okay, but, and then it turns out I ran routes and he was pretty good. So,
yeah.
He was all right. I was worried you were going to say it reminded you of like the Carson Steele like effect from last year. You know, everybody's
oh
like
God,
trying to grab
really?
Carson Steele after he did that Steele farm in the preseason. Not me.
No, I didn't really buy Carson Steele last year, but man, did I buy Krosky Merritt this year.
Oh,
Same as you, Stacy. He was an 8th round pick for me.
Bamboozled, Kyle. Absolutely bamboozled. Let's move it on. I've got a couple wide receivers for you. Now, the first two, you're probably gonna be like, why on earth are you talking about them? They surely can't meet the requirements here. Oh, look at that picture of Alec Pierce. Honestly, looks like he's got a pacifier in his mouth right there with that blue.
Oh yeah.
That's weird. That's a weird pick, Jim. But I like it. Alec Pierce, and he's 54% roster, so he just barely over that 50%. But I wanted to bring him up, and I also want to bring up Tej Johnson, who's going to be our next guy that we talk about, because they're both like it's just right, just a hair over that smidge. So there's a really good chance that he might still be. And this again is on Sleeper, so it's not like, you know, like I know some of those ESPN numbers are from what I've heard have been in like including, you know, leagues that are no longer active and things like that. So you see like lower percentage roster numbers, you know, there. But this is on Sleeper, so this is like counting, you know, active leagues and whatnot. So I feel kind of like with Alec Pierce, if he's available in your league, he's got to be the priority ad this week, like completely overall. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys on board with that?
100%, because I'm looking once again at display a profile page right now. He's had 7 targets or more in the past 4 weeks. Against week 7 against Dante Jackson, he had 248 air yards. Against Darius Slay in week 9, he had 212 air yards. When he's gotten those 7 or more targets in the past 3 weeks, he's put up 14.8 fantasy points according to player profile. He was wide receiver 22. 17.5 fantasy points in that week 9 game, wide receiver 15. And this past week was his best game so far with the 18.4 fantasy points. So, like, we're starting to get to a point where it's not just a drop in the bucket. It's a thing. Like, he might be becoming the go-to guy, not Jonathan Taylor or Tyler Warren in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
But good rule of thumb, top two options in a passing game are guys that you want pretty much across the board with any team. So,
oh yeah, and also, I mean, like his target share has increased over the last 3 weeks. It was season long, we're at 20% target share. It bumps up to 24.3% over the last 3 weeks. That's only behind Pittman. There, and you know, like, and then you've got Josh Downs, right? But he's been banged up so much this year too. So Pierce has really been like the one, you know, consistent guy for them, that they, you know, have got, you know, behind Michael Pittman. You know, obviously like Tyler Warren, you know, there too, and Jonathan Taylor, but you know, we're talking receivers right now. But yeah.
Let's play a game.
Ooh, okay.
Let's play. What is Alec Pierce's ADOT for the season? Stacy, you go first.
Oh my god.
No cheating.
14 yards.
Kyle.
He's been getting a lot of deep threats, deep balls. I'm gonna say something ridiculous like 17.
20.7 is his ADOT.
Oh,
wow.
Price is Right rules, Kyle wins.
And so He's only got 52. He's only got 59 targets this season. The player profiler numbers have him heading into this week. It says 52 targets and 930 air yards. So he's number 2 in the league in air yards, despite being targeted about close to half of what JSN has been targeted. And he's probably number 1 in air yards. So, I mean, it goes to show that, like, yeah, these splashy guys, yeah, they can be hit or miss, but when the splashy guy is starting to get 7 targets or more in 3 of the past 4 weeks, I mean, watch the hell out, because you might have a league winner on your hands at that point.
And I just want to shout out to our just a producer, Jim Bednar, because he was on Alec Pierce all summer, and I kept being like, Jim, come on, it's Alec Pierce, like, really? But no, he was adamant that Alec Pierce was going to have a great season. So I wish I would have listened a little bit more and had some more Alec Pierce on my best ball squads over the summer for sure.
So are we, as a group here, are we higher on Alec Pierce than Josh Downs?
Yes, right now.
Season? Yeah.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
until otherwise.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Until otherwise noticed. Yeah, I think so, for sure.
Which nobody saw coming. That was the whole point of it. Nobody saw you wanting Alec Pierce over Josh Downs. Like, he had such hype coming in, Josh Downs.
Well, they're different players, they do such different things, but yeah. Guys, next one we've got for you, again, like I said, still a smidge over that 50%. I like that picture. That's a great one of Tej Johnson, aka the MVP. MVP Tej Johnson, by the way. 53%. So just a smidge. No word when Bucky or Chris Godwin's coming back yet. I think I saw something today saying they weren't sure they were going to be practicing this week for Buffalo coming up. That's a big concern. Side track over here. What the heck's going on with Bucky Irving? Like, why can't we just put him on the IR? Like, what has been going on? Like, week 4, I think, is when he went out.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing like a San Francisco type of thing, and this injury's like a little bit worse than what they're saying. But yeah, something smells really foul here with Bucky Irving.
Yeah, agreed.
Not great. Like I said, guys, the Bucks have Buffalo and Rams coming up the next 2 weeks. They are, good defenses there, so you don't really love that. But considering that he is one of the only options there in Tampa, don't worry, we will get to Cade Otton for those tight end truthers out there. We'll get to him in a second. But I think he's just really got like a great chemistry with Baker over the last few weeks. 18 of his fantasy points have come in the red zone. Besides Emeka, he's the second best wide receiver in Tampa. Where do I live? In Tampa, Florida. Holy cow. Tampa. Oh my goodness. Converting those red zone looks. So yeah, I'm all aboard the Tej Johnson train over here. Rhett, what's up? What do you got for me?
Okay, yeah. See, I'm trying not to talk over people, so I'm gonna raise my hand.
Okay.
Schoolyard style. But over the I've got a question for you guys, and it has nothing to do with fantasy football. It's more or less a football discussion point. For years, we've kind of addressed Pittsburgh as being the gold standard in drafting wide receivers, Green Bay the gold standard in drafting quarterbacks, et cetera, et cetera. Has Tampa taken the reins as the gold standard in drafting wide receivers? Because last year, Jalen McMillan flashed pretty hard. This year, Emeka Egbuka speaks for itself. Tej Johnson is having a pretty good season himself. I mean, I just think right now there might be someone, whoever is in charge of receivers in that scouting department, probably deserves a promotion either in that organization or somewhere in the NFL, because their director of scouting is killing it right now. When you look at Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, all these guys we just named in the wide receiver room, I mean, whatever they're doing is working in terms of the NFL draft.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've been doing great. And also don't forget too, like, how many offensive coordinators have the Bucks had in the last 3 years?
It's a great point.
Yeah. So like, I mean, they're doing that all, they're staying consistent. They're having a really great offense all 3 years, despite all that turnover as well. So they've like very quietly, I think been one of the most I don't know, teams that just really has their act together this year. That's just making moves that I think people kind of forget about the Bucks, sleep on the Bucks a little bit, like, but they are a really good offense. Even can you imagine what they would be like right now if they had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving all back?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, be amazing. But we've got some names too. I just want to point out too in the chat, like there's so many names out there. We just can't get to everybody. But if you go on fantasyandframes.com, we do have waiver articles that are being put out every week as well that are going to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth, analysis for a lot of these players. So if you don't hear them talked about on our show, that doesn't mean that we didn't think they were worthy of a waiver pick. It just means we only have so much time. So, there definitely are some people out there worthy of being talked about. That maybe we're just going to unfortunately miss for tonight. A couple more. We've got Jalen Naylor, and I felt like I had to put him on here, even though I wasn't like super excited about it, because he did have 124 yards this week. Like it's not every week. It's not like he's taken over the one spot from Jefferson and Addison. That's not happening. I think this was just one of those weeks where, Baltimore kind of locked down those two, and it, was a Naylor game. I don't think this is going to be something that happens every week. I mean, I know, Rhett, we kind of talked about Jefferson a little bit earlier, but it's not like, Jalen Naylor is going to come in and completely take over that role.
No, but he does have enough to him where in a deeper league, especially once you get to like that 14 threshold, he should be rostered in 14-team leagues at this point because you're so deep down the well at that point that like you have to find dudes that have a role in an offense. You have it in the show sheet where Jalen Naylor is the wide receiver 3 in that offense. TJ Hawkinson might just be cooked. So somebody has to take on that role of being the third pass catcher in that offense. This isn't the first time Jalen Naylor has had a nice little spike week. They clearly like him. KOC clearly likes him because he's kept him around the past few years. I mean, when a coach likes you and he kind of likes the way you operate, then you're going to have a role. So, I mean, why not? Why not Jalen Naylor?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, he does kind of seem like he has a connection with JJ McCarthy. And also, can we talk about why does all the receivers have to their names start with J? We got Jalen, we got Justin, we got Jordan, we got JJ McCarthy. Like,
I think they're focusing on the wrong details in Minnesota.
And you got TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, poor Aaron Jones is over there. Like, I just got a J in my last name for you. That's all I can do. Amber says he would rather start Jalen Naylor over any non-Dubs Green Bay wide receiver. I don't think that's wrong right now. I don't think that's wrong at all.
No, I don't think it's wrong either. I mean, Romeo Dubs has been pretty good, and after that, when Tucker Kraft went down. By the way, how's the Musgrave look tonight?
I've been actually trying to be on good behavior and not get too distracted by the game. So I can look up the box score real quick and tell you exactly how he's done. But I would be willing to guess that it's probably not Tucker Kraft like scores that we're going to be looking at here.
You say that, but you look at the profiles heading it in that NFL draft class. Luke Musgrave had the better athletic profile. He came from the bigger school. He had more draft capital. Like, he had all these things going for him, but Tucker Kraft just kind of took the job by the scruff and kind of showed that he was the dude. Which, more power to him. That doesn't mean that Luke Musgrave is a bad player, and Mogg said he has 1 fantasy point so far, so he might just be bombing tonight, and that's fine. But it is what it is at that point. But
I was gonna say this whole box score is just the Packers have 12 yards receiving thus far, and we're about 5 minutes from halftime here. We got 49 yards on the ground. Y'all want to guess?
Of those?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys want to guess how many yards Jordan Love has thrown for right now?
12.
I did just tell you. Yeah, that was. Not thinking there. What were you gonna say, Rhett? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you how many of those receiving yards does Luke Musgrave have if he has 1 fantasy point?
6. He has 6, and Josh.
All right, so he's got 50% of the Packers passing yards tonight. Like, that's a win.
It's a win. He's leading all Green Bay pass catchers.
Like, you're going to look at it next week, and you're going to say Tucker Kraft had a 50% yard share in the first half. And people are going to be like, wait, really? Like, he must have killed it. And you're like, well, Jordan Love had 24-yard receiving, and Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave had 12. So,
and then
maybe not, but.
And you know what? In fairness, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is really good against tight ends. They allow the second fewest to the tight end position. So, to your point, like, it's not a really good matchup for Luke Musgrave. So, I still say give him a chance to, pop off here in a couple of weeks or so. But yeah, he should be fine.
Uh-huh. I was just looking over here at the Philly scores as well. I mean, like I said, nobody's scored yet. So it's, Saquon's got 33 yards on the ground right now. AJ Brown, 13 yards. He's their leading receiver at this point. It's been, not great for fantasy for sure.
The 27-23 prediction is not going to happen. It's going to be more like 13-7.
I actually, if I want to get my second overall win in the Queen's Classic this week, I need Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown to like keep it under 20. So fingers crossed.
I need that too. I'm going up against AJ Brown in the league. I'm completely down by 21. So he needs 22 in a PPR. That sounds pretty good right now. But we know AJ Brown. He could catch one for 80.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's 14 right there. Or 15.
Doable. For sure. Real quick, here's another little group of 3, a little trio, if you will, out of Houston. The Houston receivers. They don't even get their own pictures over here. They're anonymous. We've got Higgins, Hutchinson, Noel. Is there one in particular that you guys like better than the other? Because I kind of feel like it's every week. You just don't know which one of them it's going to be. And honestly, unless they're Nico or Dalton Schultz, I really don't want any of them.
No.
I agree with that. But if I have to choose, I would choose a healthy Tank Dell. But that probably won't happen again. And that makes me sad. Among those 3, I guess I'm taking Higgins. But once again, like you said, it's Green Bay light right now, where you have Romeo Doubs, and it was Romeo Doubs and Tucker Kraft, and then a bunch of dudes kind of vying for targets. And in Houston, it's Nico and Dalton Schultz and a bunch of dudes vying for targets. So,
yeah, I totally agree. If you had to pick one, it's Higgins.
Yeah. It's Green Bay South, for sure. Higgins rostered at 17%, Hutchinson rostered at 5%. Noel has a little. Did I not put the percentage there from him? He did go 4 for 4 on Sunday, 33% snap percentage, 15% the week before. So you don't really love that. Hutchinson had 0 targets on Sunday, and Mills threw 45 times. You don't like that either. So it's just kind of all 3 of them kind of give me the ick.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know if Christian Kirk is going to go down again with that hamstring. He can't stay healthy.
No, he can't. And he didn't have, I think all 3 of these guys actually, well, not Hutchinson because he didn't have a target, but I mean, he at the bottom of the list as well this week. Now here's one that I cannot believe that we are actually having to talk about. And when I watched this game, I thought, I'm going to have to talk about Tyler Lockett. And that's the face I made right there. That's the face that I made when I said, I'm going to have to talk about Tyler Lockett this week. Because it's not great. Rostered 5% of leagues. Off a little bit. But he and Gino have got some chemistry. No Jacoby Myers there anymore. It's not a good offense, but I mean, he's getting the looks. I mean, I think he was their leading receiver against Denver. So
there's that.
There's that. If you're desperate, Tyler Lockett, everybody.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not prioritizing him at all. I think this is one of your very, you've got to be in a deep league. You've got to be a real desperate situation. There's only 2 teams on a bye this week, so you really shouldn't be in a situation where you're going to have to go pick him up. But, stranger things have happened. Do you guys feel any better? Does anyone else feel any better about Tyler Lockett than I do?
No,
No.
it's Tyler Lockett. He's going to catch a ball and then not get tackled, despite how explosive he was at one point.
Yeah.
So, nah, we're good.
Yeah. No thanks. Let's move on to some tight ends because that's is going to be a lot more fun of a conversation here. We're going to take it back to Houston and go get big old Dalton Schultz over here, rostered in 33% of leagues. I still don't understand how we talk about Dalton Schultz literally like every week. And he's just an absolute stud, and he's still only 33% rostered. And he's like 12.4 PPR points since week 4 per game. This is clearly the number 2 guy in Houston behind Collins, 32 targets since week 7. Since week 5, he's had 3 50-plus yard receiving games, and he is not touchdown dependent, which is what a lot of your tight ends are, right?
Yes, they are.
Only one tight end, only one touchdown so far this season. So he's still doing that. He's still putting up those numbers without getting in the end zone. So that's kind of what you want out. I mean, you want obviously the touchdowns, right? But if you're going to go grab a guy off waivers, you want somebody that's going to be able to put up those points without having to get in the end zone, because that's never a guarantee from week to week. But man, I just can't understand how Dalton Schultz is still out there at that low percentage.
And do you know who leads the team in receptions? It's still Dalton Schultz. Yeah. Nico Collins has 40. Schultz has 45. Receiving games per game, he's second with 48.7. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to like here with Dalton Schultz. I am surprised that nobody has picked him up being rostered so low. But, yeah, I mean, he's right there in target share with, he's 18% target share in the offense. He's second. And that's what Rhett always says. You want a guy second in these categories, and that's kind of what Dalton Schultz is. He's on that path.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here right now, once again, just kind of going through. I love the advanced stat stuff, especially player profile. They make it so easy to read. It's kind of been my go-to over the years. But Dalton Schultz, according to player profiler, and the fantasy points data sheet might have something a little bit different, but he has been the first read. He's got a 21.3% first read target share in that offense. So, like, 1 in every 5 plays, they're looking for Dalton Schultz first. So, I mean, it can't be taken lightly at this point. I'm completely on board with who he is as a player. He wasn't a guy I was high on to start the year, but that's kind of how this goes, where inevitably you're going to drop the ball on a few of these. And I was wrong on Dalton Schultz. Good for him.
Which is, he's consistent, right? I mean, that's one of the things that, you want in a fantasy player. You want a guy that you're not going to have to, put in every week and not know, okay, is he going to put up a bagel, or is he going to put up decent numbers? Like Dalton Schultz is fairly consistent. And that's something that, you can feel good about, picking him up on waivers. And there's a lot of your waiver ads are not going to be consistent from week to week. It's just not going to happen. But he's one that is. Next tight end.
You can definitely do worse. I was just going to say he could definitely do worse than Dalton Schultz.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Schultz has only had 5 or less targets in 2 games this year. So he had 4 in week 2 and then 3 in week 8. Besides that, it's been 5+ in every week.
Yeah. I mean, that's you can't like that anymore. Kate Otten, 38% rostered. Again, I don't know, with so many injuries that the Bucs have been dealing with all season, I don't know how he's still only 38% rostered. Same argument that we talked about for Tez Johnson, with regard to the injuries and not as many options available in Tampa. He had 12 targets against the Bills this week, 32 receptions since week 4, 4th most at the position. They do play not Buffalo. I said 12 targets against Buffalo. I meant 12 targets against New England this week. They're playing Buffalo this week. Buffalo is pretty stingy against the tight end position. I mean, Travis Kelce had a good game against them, so it's not a complete out of the realm of possibility that Kate Otten is going to have a good game as well, especially when there's not as many mouths to feed in that offense. So I'm a big Kate Otten fan for this weekend going forward, as long as we have those injury issues in Tampa. Are you guys on the Kate Otten bandwagon?
No, I'm not against it at all. That's another one who's like second in target share, right behind Egbuka. He's second in yards, first in yards, actually, right? what is it here? Yeah, in the last 4 games. Last 4 games, he's leading the team in yards and receiving yards per game, and the target share he was second in target share with 22.9% in the last 4 games. So yeah, he's somebody that you could definitely look to pick up if you need a tight end. Absolutely.
Baker trusts him, and whenever they get down to it, and they kind of get injury, they kind of get that injury bug, which has happened the past few years with Evans and Godwin. When that situation happens, K. Dotton's kind of just there for Baker Mayfield.
Mhm.
And over the past 4 weeks, we see it again. 5+ targets in each of the last 5 weeks. Week 7, 9 targets. Week 10, 12 targets. I mean, K. Dotton always seems to have a 1-month heater every season. I don't know why it happens this way, but we're in the middle of it right now. So keep riding the wave.
And he's literally on the field like in 99% of the time. Like if you look at his snap percentage, like it's always in the high 90s, high 90s, like every
Yeah.
game. So,
94 this season.
Yeah, crazy. Like, he's out there all the time. Next one up, I got Theo Johnson. It's an oddly that shadow on his visor there. It makes it look a little weird in his picture here. I like Theo Johnson, roster 31% of the week. Again, he's another one that I don't understand why he's still under 50%. I feel like I'm kind of like screaming into the void every week when we talk about Theo Johnson here, and he's still out there. He's still available. Fourth in those targets, he is tied with K-Dot, 18.9% of that target share. Again, just a consistent guy on a team with a lot of injuries. So Theo Johnson. Rhett, were you a Theo Johnson fan? You like this guy?
One of the few calls that I got right last week of my plays and fades was Theo Johnson. I had him as a play. It worked out. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there's this Jackson Dart best friend narrative where they're like boys and there's some trust there. And that's kind of a theme that I'm kind of leaning on tonight is that trust. Like you can't put a number on trust, but if you could put a number on trust, but at pass catching positions, it just might be targets. So you go to your guys that you like, that you feel like you can depend on. And for Jackson Dart, that's been Theo Johnson, and he's shown it. I mean, he's got multiple. He's got a wide receiver tight end 9 finish in week 7. He's got a tight end 11 finish in week 9. And this past week, the number isn't up there on player profile, but there's probably another tight end 1 finisher. 3 out of the past 4 weeks. Yeah. Yep. 3 out of the past 4 weeks, he's been a tight end 1. And he's getting in the end zone as well, too, this season, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns on the year. So, I mean, they need a red zone target. Theo Johnson seems to be that guy for him. So
he's a lot like K. Dotton is to Baker Mayfield. Jackson Dart trusts him. He goes to him, and it's proven with the targets. So yeah, definitely Theo Johnson's a good pickup.
Before we do our super deep league dart throws, I've got 2 for you. I just wanted to point out, Mike says Brenton Strange coming back from IR. So if he comes back from IR this week, he would be my priority probably over like most of these guys on the tight end, list here. Especially with all the injuries and issues that are going on in Jacksonville. But yeah, until he's activated and we know for sure he's active, then I like these other guys a little bit better. But I think you should, if you had Brenton Strange, hopefully you held on to him, through this IR stint for sure. Yeah. Last 2 are going to be desperation dart throws. And thanks for everybody for hanging out with us. I know we are going a little long tonight, so appreciate you guys hanging in there.
That's what happens when you get us on.
No, I love it. I love it because we have so much good things to talk about, and there's so much going on in week, going into week 11. Like this is, I love this. So I hope I'm sure everybody else is enjoying it as well. We've got Dawson Knox, and this is really only, dependent upon Dalton Kincaid's injury status. He did leave the game last week or this week, really, yesterday. So Dawson Knox 2% registered rostered out there. Look, he's just the red zone guy for Josh Allen. Like, he loves him in the red zone. If Kincaid's out, is somebody that I would, if I'm in a deep league, grab somebody off the waiver wire, throw in and pray for a touchdown. He's somebody that I'm looking at there. You guys have any special feelings on Dawson? I mean, he's really kind of irrelevant with Dalton Kincaid there, but when he's out, I mean, I think he's somebody that kind of gets overlooked sometimes.
He's the tight end to have if Dalton Kincaid is out. So, I mean, because I've said this before, Dawson Knox used to be the starter there in New York until Dalton Kincaid just kind of took the job from him. So there's still, if you had to start Dawson Knox in a very extremely deep league, there is you could see a touchdown happening with Dawson Knox in the red zone without Dalton Kincaid. So at least his snap share would rise up tremendously. I know Jackson Haas still gets a little playing time there, but Dawson Knox would be the tight end to own if Kincaid was out.
Yeah, there's enough upside there to make it interesting.
Oh yeah. Last one. Wow. What a great way to end it, I think, here. You've got Likely and Arroyo, Moggs, like you're talking about too, and Gunnar Helm too. There's a lot of good options there. Dulcich, because Darren Waller goes down, 6 for 9 with receptions and targets over the last 2 games. Not sexy, but definitely a desperation play. I mean, I say not sexy, but look at that hair. I mean, come on.
And I think you dropped the ball in what you referred to him as. I think what you need to go by his full government name, which is former Denver Broncos Joker candidate Greg Dulcich. Okay?
Yes.
Get it right.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, Rhett is he hates that whole Joker thing.
Oh, the Joker package is stupid. It doesn't mean anything.
It's made up. I'm sorry. That's a made up thing that sounds fun, and it's everybody loves to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little clickbait, but I think it's completely made up. I think it's nonsense.
One way to fire up Rhett, man, is to say he's got the Joker role in Sean Payton's offense.
Oh my God. That literally, I think that is like made up for people so they can get like clicks and things like that. Delchis is stealing your villain mustache. Well, that's hilarious. Bob's got a quick question in here. It's a defensive question. He wants to know, is he picking up the Ravens this week, or is he picking up the Falcons? Falcons are playing the Saints. Right. I think you might have some words about that. You might have some thoughts.
No, Saints don't buy this week.
Oh, they are. That's right. The Saints are by. Who are the Falcons? Oh, the Panthers. Is that right? Are they playing the Panthers?
Still not bad.
Not bad there. Yeah, I'm getting my week 11s mixed up. Who do the Ravens play this week? Let me take a look.
That could be a division game, maybe.
It could be. For some reason my it's not letting me leave the box score from the Philly
How about
Packers.
the Browns? Is that right? November 16th.
Oh, that's right. They are doing a matchup against the Browns.
Yeah. So Baltimore seems to be getting their ship together. They're getting a little bit healthier. They've won 3 in a row. They're getting ready. They're firing up another run. Whether we liked it or not. Some people left them for dead. And it was stupid because Lamar Jackson got hurt. No, they're dangerous. They're going to be dangerous. You couldn't expect the John Harbaugh team to stay down all year defensively. And they're playing the Browns, which, by the way, I said this on 4th and Frames last week. Quinshon Judkins, low-key is a plotter, whether you want to believe it or not. So, yeah, I think you take Baltimore this week.
So over the last, from week 7 to week 10, the Ravens are getting you about 9 points.
Yeah, fire that up. Run that up for sure.
Yeah, that's 5th overall. That's only behind Seattle, Cleveland, Bucks, Texans, and then you've got Baltimore here. I gotta scroll a little ways to find the Falcons.
And then you can even keep the Ravens for the following week because they play the Jets next week after that.
Yeah, so start them.
Yeah.
Bob, hope that answered your question. Oh my gosh, guys, it's been a great night. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and helping out tonight. You guys are the best. Like, I just appreciate you both so much. I hope you guys know that.
No,
Yes.
it's been a good time for sure. This Monday night show, I mean, admittedly, a lot of times on these sort of shows, I normally make time for Wednesday because, that's my show that I host.
Mhm.
But Stacy, you've got a good thing here on Monday night. I mean, your format and everything, like you got it popping off. You got some good participation here. I like the Monday Night Football cut-ins. Like, yeah, you're doing a good job with this, and there's a reason why you're one of the best. You're one of the best women in this business. So keep it up. It's been fun tonight.
Oh, Rhett, thank you. I thought, oh, thanks.
I can't even follow that up.
I know.
I'm just going to let Red have that because that was beautifully said. So,
well, guys, so tell everybody, Rhett, starting with you, tell everybody where they can find you online. You do the Wednesday show. Tell everybody what else you got going on so they can know where to follow you and find your content.
Yeah, I am less active than I should be on X/Twitter at Rhett Manuel Sports. Life's gotten in the way, job change, trying to build all that up. So should be more active there. But Wednesday nights, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, me, Kyle, Drew Scott, Nate Markham, sometimes Aiden Weingartner. The flagship, maybe Fourth and Frames. I mean, we're sitting here. I'm giving you our studs and duds on a weekly basis, just trying to tell you who we think is worth your time. I'm currently writing the plays and fades for the remainder of the season for the fantasyandframes.com website. Besides that, if you really want to deep dive for content from me, I'm the sports editor for a really small newspaper in Eunice, Louisiana, but I mean, that's irrelevant. You won't find anything interesting there. Unless you really love high school sports, then shout out that. But no, just trying to make those around me better on a weekly basis. And it's easy with guys like Kyle, Aiden, Nate, and Drew. So, yeah.
You guys do a great job. One of my favorite watches during the week, although I don't get to watch you guys as much as I should. But you guys are fantastic. Kyle, let the people know where to find you.
Yeah, hit me up, KZ1180 on X. I every Sunday morning I'm always up brewing that coffee and always open and able to answer your start sit questions on a Sunday morning afternoon. So remember that, KZ1180, hit me up. I'm always posting on there on Sundays. I know Stacy's always seeing that. She's always loving that. So I appreciate that, Stacy.
Wow.
And of course, Wednesday nights, 10 p.m., Fourth and Frames with Rhett, Drew, Nate Markham. Watch us 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. We do. We have such a great group here at Fantasy and Frames with you guys and Drew and Nate and Jorge and just everybody who's a part of our family here. And make sure to go on fantasyandframes.com, check out all of our content there. Give us all a follow on the socials and everything. And guys, we'll be back next week, same time, same place, for your Monday night waiver wire watch party. Until then, go Pack Go.